Yeah, literally kind of every
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for coming in. This particular piece is due in when? How long? 15th April, which is what?
Wednesday.
3 weeks, yeah. It's submitted manually, isn't it?
Yeah.
So don't worry that those of you sort of, if you hand me a stick and it doesn't work, don't worry, you won't get naught. I'll call you up or send an email saying it doesn't work. Please come and see me. So don't panic with technology because it will bite you. Right, I'm going to be working next week. Having some time off the following week. So if you send me an email or want to see me, obviously send me and make an appointment. But if you don't get an answer back saying I'm on leave, you can expect a reply. So work in progress for next week. Right. Assignment 1. 60% of the module, some of you should have replied for. I know it's asked you to a fortune. The ones I've seen so far visually are excellent. However, don't get hung up on the visuals. It's nice, it's good for you, and it's fun. But you can't have one without the other. There's no waiting between the visual and the rationale. They're one and the same thing. And I think the two are up on the website. One is visually very, very strong. One is pretty ropey. Both ended up with first-class marks. What the individual, the ropey visual one was doing was actually what he was trying to achieve. The fact he was useless at doing it was irrelevant. He explained very, very clearly what he was trying to achieve, but creatively he wasn't up to it. Some of you will turn around to me, in fact in the past, or some of you may have colleagues in semester 1 who've done this, who spent hours upon hours upon hours, I mean, arranging pixel by pixel so it's perfect. It's nice to see it visually strong, but it's not that necessary. Right, so the key thing, write it down, big capital letters, all of you. The key thing is link your essay at all times with the execution on your website. Link execution with the rationale. This is what I did, this is what I was trying to do, or this is what I was trying to do, this is what I did. So the linkages, so I can actually see, okay, I see what you're trying to do, create interest within an 18-year-old, fine. You're using colours, high involvement, get their attention, fine, good. Doesn't have to be brilliant, you're not advertising students, you are students of event, hospitality, tourism, sport management. But you need to understand how it works. Right, moving on. Not a lot of words, 1,500 words. Is it? All of you are great in writing me 37 words when 2 will do. Say good morning to me. Yeah, what do you normally say?
Hello.
Yeah, she saved a word, really. Yeah. Boy pencil, the guy called Neil, who's long retired, when I first started teaching, told me to advise students that if a word gets a mark, use it. If it doesn't, don't. A number of you, who's going on holidays? You've worked very, very hard this year. Where are you going?
Skiing.
Skiing? Oh, no, I didn't mean immediately, I meant in the summer, I didn't mean next week.
I'm going tonight.
Sorry?
I'm going tonight.
You're going tonight? Oh, right, fine. Okay, do you throw yourself off the top of a black run or do you start gently? Yeah, jump in. You do need academic sources, but you don't have a number. Whoever started this business of the number of sources you need for X, Y, and Z, it started off slowly to get students to read. It's now become a curse, hasn't it? You look and say, well, I've got to have 30 references. Not, I'd like to read 30 references, oh God, I've got to have them. I'm happy if we read 10 than assign me 30. And in fact, I had a first year come to me, a freshie come to me once and say, I don't like annotated bibliographies. Why didn't he like annotated bibliographies?
You had to read the content.
Exactly, he had to read it. Kind of crazy. 1,500 words. I won't get anal about it, but don't take the mickey. So you've got 1,650 without penalty. There are appendices, which I'll tell you where you can have them. First section, section 1. Bit of fun. I want you to write a mission for the campaign. So you all know what a mission statement is. Just write. No right answer, no wrong answer. A number of you doing completely different things, a number of you doing your small business enterprise or hobbies or placements, fine. A mission statement. You're not going to lose loads of marks on it, so don't get upset, excited. However, you might want to dust down Johnson & Scholes or Lynch or whatever, and you're allowed to tell me what a mission statement is and provide a reference or two. How many of you have been doing your dissertations? Your advisor has said to you, you've got this sentence, the cat sat on the map, brackets, Johnson & Scholes, Lynch, Maslow, whatever, 7 or 8 references, and you're saying, they say, what are you referencing? You know, make the referencing accurate. Section 1.2, site strategy. Okay. Overall, what are you seeking to achieve? Let's swap the word, find and replace site for campaign. While we're talking about visuals, in the module guide, because it takes such a long time to change things, it says a website. But now websites, you can go to companies like Weebly, and use a template approach, and out pops a really nice, very professional website. The problem is, it's not your website, and you lose the creativity control because it's template based. And what ends up, when you go down that route, you end up justifying somebody else's creative input. So if you can do it yourself, do it yourself. So what am I trying to achieve? The objectives can be cross-related to communication strategies objectives. Where else do you live?
Cheltenham.
Oh, that's in Cheltenham.
Cheltenham Kings.
Cheltenham Kings, very posh.
Not really.
That's teasing, I know. I used to spend most of my life when I first worked here in a traffic jam in Cheltenham Kings trying to get into Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Restaurant opening in Cheltenham this week, what's it called?
Turtle Bay.
Yeah, how do you know about it?
Friend works there.
Sorry?
My friend works there.
Your friend works there, word of mouth. Public relations launches, all sorts of bits and pieces. Getting awareness out there. Did you know it was opening? Do you live in Cheltenham?
No.
That's probably why you didn't know.
Sure, what did you just say? Can be cross-related to, sorry?
To underpinning models like IED models, which we're going to talk about later, hierarchical models of communication, which are in the book, any marketing communications textbook. Short and sweet, we've only got 1,500 words. I'll tell you where the emphasis comes in. Section 3, this is a short section. Just it says exactly what are you trying to achieve and from whom? You might want to say, in terms of the site strategy, what is communication strategy? You need to tell me what you're going to be doing, i.e. are you doing events management, are you doing your business, what are you doing, and what are you doing it to, i.e. who's your target market, and you're totally free to choose your own. Because that will decide the type of imagery, the type of copy, the words you use, appropriate to the way they communicate. Short and sharp. Sweet. Right. This section, of course, is fairly brief, but what we need to do is get them all down at once. Essentially, all I'm asking you to do is provide or find out some reference data on the behaviour, the attitude, the fears, the concerns of your individual. Because some of the advertising and communication you'll be doing will be problem solving. What are the problems? Okay. What is their pain? I hate that expression, it's marketing speak. What is the pain? What is their problem? Okay, I mean, in a very, very minor sense, you're obsessed, sorry, it's the wrong word. You're very concerned, obviously, with marks and work coming up and you're planning your work you need to do. Apart from skiing, of course. If you're not going skiing, those who are working, what's the social event after you finish? Summer ball. And what do you need for a summer ball?
A dress.
And what else?
Shoes.
Indeed, the whole production number. And upstairs, it's nice to see people working way upstairs, and it's not infrequent to see a bit of lazy shopping online going on. It's fine, because you can't work all day long, can you? So, what do they want? What are they coming to your site for? Okay? What are their problems? What are the key problems? Now, if you're going to do the university issue, it's a very, what they call, high involvement purchase with high risk. These days, how many of you got younger brothers and sisters? How old is he or she?
She's 19.
She uni?
Yeah.
She's paying 9, isn't she?
Sorry?
9,000 a year?
Yeah.
So you wind her up all the time?
No.
But if you're walking away, imagine if anyone got any friends who's studying to be a vet or a doctor? You have. Yeah, they're going to be 5-7 years. And they're going to have hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of debts. Right. You can take out, put in an appendix, not in the word count, a needs statement. From the various sources you're doing, what does the person reading your advert, visiting your website, need from it? What do they need to know? I don't know what the figure was. First, if you're coming to university to get a job, then what they call the first destination statistics are very important. I think there's, 70 or 80% of all, or higher than that, of our graduates in our area go on to get a job within 12 months, or are in further education. Market research, don't do any primary research. Do not do any primary research, secondary only. Places you could look for information regarding student behaviours include try the National Union of Students, Google Tango Hotel Echo Sierra, capital Times Higher Education Supplement, THES, or go to one of the broadsheets, the Telegraph, or probably more appropriately the Guardian, and look at their education sections and search through there. It's free. May get you data on what do current students want, because the behaviour of students has changed even since you came here 3 short years ago. Again, not a big section as such. So now what you've done is you've positioned yourself with what you're trying to achieve and with whom. And you know what their behaviours are, what do they want to know, you've got your objective, if you imagine it. This is what you want to achieve, this is what they want to know, and now we need to talk about how you're going to do it. Right, the execution. It's slightly different now, I'll put it up. Execution, which is the biggest section by far. And what I want you to look at is, first of all, look at the likely motivational state of the audience at that stage, or what motivational state are you addressing. And the key ones are transformational, where you are promising an improved you. Although, you go on holiday because when you come back, hopefully, you're feeling better. Not that you're feeling ill before you went, but if you look at all advertising, either family values improved like that teddy bear, or people relaxing by beaches, whatever, promise. Or even functional things like shampoos or antacid ingestion. It's solving a problem, it's improving. And informational are transferring information, which is slightly less glamorous but important in certain problem solvings. Everyone quotes Maslow to me regularly. I'm having an argument with one of my dissertation colleagues. When did Maslow write his work? Anyone any idea? You've heard Maslow, haven't you? Right. He wrote his sociological book in 1943, and he died in 1971. And I have somebody trying to convince me that he's referencing him in the year 2000. He's been dead for 29 years. There we go. If you're going back, I mean, what are Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Everyone quotes it. What are they?
I can't remember.
Can't remember. Can you remember?
Safety and security.
Safety and security, you got away with one. Yeah, the first one.
Physiological.
That's the same one.
Another belonging.
Social needs, yeah.
Self-actualization,
Which is the last one, yeah.
self-esteem.
Sorry?
Is it self-esteem?
Yeah, and or ego needs. Yeah. Getting there. It may be appropriate, it's an old model, but how do you appeal? What's a classic illustration if you're doing the educational bit? A classic image.